doubled and scored in the first. There's a ball smothered by Baez. Ridiculous throw and a ridiculous play. Come on. That's barely humanly possible.
What's going through the mind and the heart of Javier Báez after that error? You can stomach errors, but in the postseason, when you're just being a little nonchalant with the baseball, those can jump up and bite you. Just ask the Cardinals from game 2. There's a ground ball. Oh, and it hits Castro. And there will be an out on the base runner there. Castro makes contact with the baseball. Baez will reach first, but Castro is out, and the second out of the inning. And instead of first and third and one away, the Cubs run into another mistake.
That was terrible right there. You cannot run into that. I don't know. See, he must have not got a good look at it. He just sort of ran into it, tried to jump out of the way, got him in the back heel.
What hit was going through the mind and the heart of Javier Báez after that error? You can stomach errors, but in the postseason, when you're just being a little nonchalant with the baseball, those can jump up and bite you. Just ask the Cardinals from game 2. There's a ground ball. Oh, and it hits Castro. And there will be an out on the base runner there. Castro makes contact with the baseball. Baez will reach first, but Castro is out, and the second out of the inning. And instead of first and third and one away, the Cubs run into another mistake.
That was terrible right there. You cannot run into that. I don't know. See, he must have not got a good look at it. He just sort of ran into it, tried to jump out of the way, got him in the back heel.
Wasn't hit that hard.
No, it's like you've got to stop one way or another and read that thing. Big break for the Cardinals right there. That's a base hit to right field.
It was. Jason Heyward had 11 hits during the regular season this season and 4 runs batted in. Handles the bat pretty well, and he has delivered with a big one in the second inning of this one. Now it's Baez into right field, way back. Javier Báez, a 3-run home run.
Wow. Wow. Whoa. Hamel got his 3-run home run. First pitch fastball, look out.
Every Cubs fan knows that Javier Báez has as much power as any player on this roster. And Baez has his postseason moment right here. Bam! 3-run opposite field home run.
That ball is on the corner.
That wasn't a bad pitch.
No, and he had just got some extension. That ball's way out of here.
6-4 Cubs. Javier Báez, the numbers for Jonathan Broxton's third appearance of this NLDS, giving up 1 run in 2 previous innings, does have 3 strikeouts. Gave up a home run. And Baez, who hit a 3-run shot in the second. There's a swing and a shot in the left field, a base hit. On the first pitch, Baez keeps the inning alive.
Obviously, the Cardinals can't afford to give up anything more. You got Broxton out there. It's really not throwing the ball all that well, velocity-wise. It doesn't seem like the same guy. Gave up a home run last night.
All Baez has done since he came in to play for Addison Russell last night. He went 2 for 2 last night. He's 2 for 3 today with a single and a 3-run homer. Not bad.
Here's Javier Báez. Well hit, base hit into left field. Castro's around third. They're going to wave him. Here's the throw to the plate. He is out at the plate. Cespedes to Darno. The game's still tied.
Here's Javier Báez now with 2 out and the base is empty. Well, think about the fact that The Cubs have Major League Baseball's ERA leader. And he's not pitching game 1 of the series. Baez lines a base hit into right. Few could argue with the decision to start Jon Lester. He's the pedigree guy, and he had a phenomenal year, and he won National League Rookie of the Year, waiting on deck for Chicago.
That was the longest pause for Cueto right there before he delivered the pitch. And even Bill Murray saying, let's go.
A long-suffering Cub fan. The quick pitch. And Baez sends it deep to left. Pagan is there at the wall, and it's in the basket. It looked, John, off the bat like that was going to get on out to Waveland.
It was. The win.
Dominican Republic faces Javier Báez, who was walked and struck out, and gets into this one, drives it to deep left. And it's in play off the wall, sprinting for second and diving headlong to make it. Báez with a double.
Well, he paid for it there at the end.
Yeah, he sure did.
Coming out of the box, he thought this was a home run and had such topspin on it that he had closing speed to get to second, but sliding into first, he paid the price.
Baez is a wonderful young player. So this is a general thought. But so many players think a ball is out. What's the harm in running hard until the umpire gives the signal? Then you don't find yourself in a situation where either A, you're out when you shouldn't be, or B, you're nearly out and you have to risk injury by diving like this.
He thought he crushed it right there. He put his head down similar to yesterday. And then, of course, last minute and the head first slide. Panic trying to apply the tag, and he did.
Yeah, I think it's the tag that got him, right?
Right
it's
into the leg and the head.
Right, into the leg. And then the tag on top of it. Boom, boom.
Well, a lot of people don't like the head first slide.
Another 8-pitch at bat from Madison Bumgarner. And it's a full count to Baez now.
You know, it starts with not only this game being a game of adjustment, it starts with trust and being able to utilize, not being anxious, not trying to jump out at everything and hit it 500 feet. Baez has learned how to be a little bit more in control in the batter's box.
Sharply hit to third. Gillespie knocks it down. He won't have a play, and Baez is aboard on his 4th hit of the series.
This is great on two fronts. This is incredible battle at the plate. He hits it so firmly, but how Gillespie can able to knock that down and prevent a double and possibly a run scored is a credit to these two teams. Play great defense. They pitch extremely well.
Guy to win a postseason game since Bob Gibson in 1968. Baez with a sharply hit ground ball that gets past Crawford into left center field. Go ahead run aboard with one away in the 13th for Chicago.
And here I thought you were going to say he'd be the first guy in postseason history to pitch in a tie game with the name tie.
See, that would have been even better.
I'll tell you what, Baez has been unreal so far in this night. Bryant gets a base hit, but the walk also that comes into play. Any walk in the ninth just absolutely makes the other team feel like that gift has been given to them.
Strickland in front, 0-2. Trying to keep that go-ahead run at bay. Baez singles back up the middle. Heyward's being waved around, and Chicago has taken a 6-5 lead.
I am surprised at the pitch selection. Said it before, so it isn't like I'm saying it afterwards. This is power against power, but it should have been slider, slider, slider. These young players for the Cubs are fearless and don't give up any inch to their competitors. And the craziness continues for the Cubs in a temporary lead.
Respect of the power of Javier Báez, the hitter.
The 2-1. Line drive, base hit down the right field line. This is going to bounce off the sidewall. Puig plays it. It's going to be a double for Javier Báez. A line drive right down the right field line. Cubs have a man at second with one away. And the batter is David Ross.
Boy, how about that piece of hitting by Javi? Is this a fastball down and away? No leg kick at all, and he just goes with this pitch and shoots it past Gonzalez, the first baseman, down the right field line. Just excellent hitting by Javi.
With that double, we remind you to pick up Majestic's official Cubs pool base jersey at Chicago Locker Room by Lids, or go to lids.com. Cubs have 5 hits in the game, 3 doubles, a triple, and a single. Baez with a pair of 2-baggers. Just thinking about the conditions around wind blowing out. It's a hitter's night. The windup, the pause, and the pitch. Baez hits a fly ball shallow left center. That ball may be trouble. It's going to be a base hit. Baez going for a double. The throw to second is not in time. Cubs lead 2-0. Baez a pop fly into shallow left center. Heyward scores. Cubs lead 2-0. Ron, that's one of the prices you can pay when you have the infield in.
Boy, they did, and Javi goes to the no stride, or very little stride. It's a slider down and away, and this is just a blooper in the left center field. And he takes off running after about 4 or 5 good strides down the line, and he realizes there's nobody at second base as all the infielders converge trying to catch this ball. And actually a good hustle play by the first base umpire, Eric Cooper, to hustle the second base, to be there to make sure he got the call right. So excellent mechanics by the umpires and good hustle by Baez to get to second base.
Cubs lead.
To get him from hitting the ball out.
There's the first base runner of the night. Comes with 2 out in the 5th. And why wouldn't it be Javier Báez?
Well, he's been in better balance, and the only time that pitch is really going to have an effect if he's out of balance and jumping to the ball. And even the fastball swing, even though it's a big swing, he's much more in balance right here, taking it up the middle. See how the foot gets down, and then even though he's fooled, his hands are back enough to get enough on that swing. Speaks to his strength, speaks to the maturity of this young man. It's a little over 2 years.
And the great hands which he's displayed defensively, showing. 0-2 on Baez. Off the end of the bat, might fall. Base hit. 2 on, nobody out.
Well, not hit very hard, but the Cubs are going to take it. Can't remember the last time they've had consecutive singles. You look at where the grip is, and See the change of speeds, and Baez just able to get it off the end of the bat.
Last time the Cubs had consecutive singles was in the 5th inning.
A big strikeout.
With a tying run at second. That's down the line. Into the corner. It is fair. Baez digging for second with a leadoff double. Just stayed fair and just stayed in the ballpark. Another hit for Baez, his 5th of this LCS.
Hanging curveball. Ball was starting to hook. And now Jason Heyward will do his best to try and get him over, get him in.
First up against the 4th pitcher of the night for the Dodgers, Joe Blanton. And he greets him with a base hit into center. Baez stays hot. He's 2 for 3. He draws a throw, and he's on to start the 6th.
Last time these two hooked up, I think that was in Baez's mind. He threw him a slider. He popped up in a situation in game 1, which ultimately led into the grand slam. I think he went up there looking slider and taking it right up the middle. That's the only way, right?
And I think it's when that occurred that he injured himself. It's a 7-run game, but the bigger concern for the Cubs is their new star.
As you mentioned, he crushes this to right field. He had shown signs before of a little bit of a limp running to first. Right there is when I thought he was going to go 3.
Just going back to the bag. And he stays out there. Javier Báez. He'll bat for Coughlin. Contreras is hitting .400 this postseason and homered in game 6 of the NLCS.
Baez has done a much better job cutting down his swing, but the one in the dirt still gives him problems. That slider was too high for Miller. You go higher than high with the fastball or in the dirt with the slider.
That's into left field, a base hit. It will load the bases with nobody out. Here come the Cubs in the 7th inning with 2 hits and a walk.
Once again, this ball's got to bounce. Baez has done a good job cutting down. It doesn't bounce too high of a pitch. And Baez, who does a great job getting the barrel of the bat to the ball, just enough to get a base hit. It sounds crazy, but sometimes a different look. And no matter how great Miller is, Kluber was absolutely carving him up. And now another young, fearless Cub comes to the plate.
A hit by the 23-year-old Javier Báez.
It looks really good. That's what I'm talking about. That one was almost similar to the one he took. And now what he's done is he's taken the count back into Bauer's favor. That right there is the old Baez. 3-1, very aggressive, not taking what the team's given you, and that was a walk.
Tough play. High chopper, base hit. And Baez is on as Ramirez could not make the barehanded grab. Probably didn't have time anyway to get the out.
Yeah, this ball had so much spin when it gets to Ramirez. Watch it take a left turn. He's going to try to gauge it. Takes a left turn. The spin takes it away from Ramirez.
And Baez trades a walk for a hit.
But that's the theme for me in the postseason. Earlier last night, a lot of defining counts. that would have changed the inning, changed maybe the score, and a lot of counts went against the Cubs. Their aggressive 3-2 nature, of course, the excellence of Kluber. But when you're given an opportunity, if a pitcher doesn't have to throw a strike, what a luxury that is at this time of the year. You've got to make him throw strikes and earn what he's trying to accomplish.
Well, this guy at the plate has done nothing but hit. Went 1 for 2 after entering late last night. Wilson Contreras, who is strike one. With runners on, just 1 for 14 is Baez. And this postseason, as Baez has gone, so have the Cubs. 367 in their 8 wins. That's his average. 160 in their 6 losses. And all of his RBIs have come in Cub victories. A bunt could not have been better. Bases loaded, 1 out. That was perfection. It leaves it in the lap of David Ross. Typically you say drive him in yourself with 1 out, but in this instance, the way Baez has been going, I think the bunt makes sense.
Absolutely, and you always should bunt for a base hit. Even the people who don't like the bunt will tell you that. When you're struggling and they're going to expand the strike zone, all of a sudden now it's a lot simpler task. Put the ball with the infielder back at third base, and you pass the baton on to the next guy. That's the theme of the postseason. You don't have to be the hero right there.
But he puts it on David Ross, who is a double play ball candidate, but also somebody who has had good at bats this postseason. While going 3.
Primarily fastball slider. 2 strikes on Javier Báez. Manship into the motion. Here it comes. Swung on, ground ball back up the middle. Diving into center. Lindor has it from the seat of his pants. Flipping over and throwing, but no chance. Well, with an 0-2 count.
With David Ross coming in from the bullpen, he's been catching Jon Lester out in the pen. If Lester comes in, so does Ross, and I think Lester, here's a fly ball into right center. Back at the wall off the bat of Baez. 4-1. And this swing of the bat will end the night with a guy who's been so good all postseason for Cleveland, Corey Kluber. That ball was a rocket out to right center. First RBI of the World Series. It comes in Game 7 for Baez, who's made it a 4-1 lead here in the 5th.